Hang on. Hang on, everybody. Trying to get Lillian in here. Oh my God. Hello, hello. Okay. So Lillian's going to go out and come back in. Hello, everybody. You got 5 people in the house. Okay, we're going to get it worked out. Let me see here. A couple of good shows earlier. Ella Ray and Linda Scott this morning. 16 people in the house. Diane Richards, Debrielle. Let's see you. Jenna Harmon, Kismet Majeski, Karen Went, Kendra Lane, Eliza Whitworth, Diane McLaughlin, Michael Kilmer. Yeah. All right. Lillian had a tech error, so she'll be back here in a minute. I hope. If not, everything's perfect and we'll figure it out. Let me see. Get rid of this one. She's actually entered the studio like 6 different times. She's being cloned. Let's see. Yeah. Oh, there she is. Finally, there she is. Okay. All right. So let me get rid of this one. Okay.
Don't tell them that.
Okay. So here you go. Right. You've been cloned. There's like
that's
8.
not funny. I really
Lillians.
think that's true.
You look beautiful. How you doing?
I'm doing great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very cool. We got 29 brothers and sisters in the house.
Oh yeah. Now I am supposed to go invite some people.
If you want to.
I know.
You don't have
but I
to.
don't remember.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
Yeah, but
You
no,
don't have
but
to do anything.
I have friends. I have friends
Oh.
that are waiting, but I don't remember how to do that.
Okay, let me do this. I'll share it to your page. How's that?
Okay.
Okay, so let me share it to your page.
Yeah.
All right, just 1 second. Let's see. Hang on. Share, copy link, and we're going to go to Lillian's page, where all the fun is. You know, most people probably don't know that you lived for several years buck naked in the mountains with a buck knife strapped to your hip.
Well, I did that for I guess what the buck knife thing I guess was about spring, summer, and part of a winter. So
oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so I just yeah, your phone's going off, isn't it? But we'll get through it.
Yeah, my phone is doing some stuff. Yeah, so anyway, yeah, they'll be able to see that. So
yeah, so I got it. All right, we're good. Okay, so
one person I wanted to make sure got it is is my dear friend Jackie Pressler, who I'm going to be co-writing a book with, and I wanted to make sure that she got it. So she's looking for me in Messenger, but hopefully she'll get a notification. So
here, hang on. I'll send it to your messenger, and then you can just forward it to her. Okay?
Okay.
Can you see if you can turn your volume down all the way so it's muted? I'm talking about for your messages, not for the show. Because you're on your phone, right?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. All right, so we're good. I'll give you a second to do that.
Okay.
And then we'll get started. Let's see here.
Okay.
Rosie Neal's in the house. Deanna Medley. Yeah. Okay, let me share it around a little bit. Yeah, I'm anxious to see what you've been going through and what's been going on. I know you're going through some changes, and so many people are.
Oh, yeah. Exciting times.
I'll say. I'll say. A few days ago, Morgan and I were driving down the road, and she could see the matrix coming out of her body, the grid, not the matrix, the grid, and then coming out of my body, and then basically connecting to another person where we were going. And I saw the same thing today. I hadn't even told her. I was coming back from my friend's house, and I didn't see it coming in my body. I just saw it everywhere. Like I could see the squares of the grid.
Yeah. I
And I had
understand
to
that. It came to
Yeah.
me. It came to me in this way. Back when I was out living like that, and I was sitting there looking at the trees, and I could see this white light that came from every leaf. It just outlined every leaf.
Dang.
And I got to where I could, I saw that often. I didn't know what it was at first, but I came to understand.
I got knocked out.
Okay, right here. Todd's in attachment. Todd is live. Okay, now go out of here. Go out of there. Okay. Are we connected, Todd? Wow. Okay, so we have the book. Okay, and then we have Sister Circle and traveling. Okay. Oh, can you? Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah, I do this anyway. There were people that would not let me on their computers because it's the energy, we all know about it, and I can mess up some computers. Anyway, I sat here and tried to get my laptop to download Chrome and its Internet Explorer, and I went to the settings and everything, and it just wasn't going to let me do it. And I spent probably a good 2 hours trying to figure it out. So I'm just on my phone, which is fine too. It's fine too. How you doing, Kismet? I'm glad that you're here. And
Okay, we're back.
I don't know. Hi. Hey.
That's weird. And then Morgan walked up to me. I'm at a little kitchen table with 4 chairs. And I'm trying to get back in and figure out what's happening. And I hear her walk up to see what's happening. And she's like, kind of like, got her fingers on the chair. She goes, and I'm looking down, and all of a sudden I see this huge white light. Like, like when a flash bulb goes off. And I'm looking around like she turned on the lights or something and turned them off real quick. So I don't know what's happening.
Well, while you were gone, someone said that they could still hear me. So I said, I play havoc with computers and things.
Yeah.
Most of the time, we all know that. And most of the time, people won't let me on,
Yeah.
So we all know that it does that, huh? Everything's energy, so.
Well, what I've noticed is that, I hate to say it. Well, you know what? I just have to say it. There's technical glitches on certain shows, and those shows seem to carry a higher frequency. Yeah.
Yeah, it's all
So we were
energy anyway.
Yeah. So we don't need to talk about you being buck naked in the mountains carrying a buck knife.
Right, right. I want to move
Picking
on.
berries with the bears. So I didn't get to go to your website yet. Okay.
Okay.
I just got that message earlier. But I did get the energy of what you were saying, which is you, like so many others right now,
Mhm.
are going through what? Life-changing, uh, expansion, transformation, to thine own self be true. I don't know what you call it. But it sounds really exciting. I don't know where you want to start. This is a platform for you, so you start
Okay.
wherever you want.
Um, well, where I would like to start is my friend. I was telling you, Jackie Pressler, and I hope she's on right now. Hi, Jackie. Say hey to everybody. Um, she and I, we've been friends for a long time, but just like you and I, Todd, on Facebook, but we've never met. But we're fixing to,
Fixing
and
to. You speak my
we're
language. We're
we're
fixing to.
fixing to. Hey,
And
I'm in
I,
Arkansas, baby.
well, I'm a Texas boy. I border you. But I just realized when you said that, get back to your story, but I just realized we've been friends a long time.
Yeah, we have.
Yeah, for me,
Mhm.
I mean, because I've only been active maybe 5.5 years, on where I had a computer. But
Uh-huh. Right.
yeah,
Right. I remember you walking and talking, and I mean, you brought a lot of joy to my heart, and so many others too. I,
thank you.
I actually, it was Mary Martin, who
Oh yeah,
she was
Mary
at my
Martin.
house, and yeah, and she's the one who she said, I want you to see this guy, tell me what you
Mm.
think. And so that's how I started watching you.
Mary
Yeah.
Martin. She's one of those like Joyce Jones. God, now I'm not going to remember any other ones, but they're always like sending messages and sending links to things, and they're always in the lives and supporting you, and they've got like this incredible wisdom. And I've asked a few of them, "Do you want to be on?" And they're like, "I don't do that," But
Oh,
it's
Mary,
almost like
Mary
they,
won't do that. Yeah, she's not
yeah,
going
I
to do
know
that. So she's behind the
yeah,
scenes.
it's like they
Yeah.
don't need to. Their energy speaks for themselves. But okay, so go back. You and your friend Jackie Pressler, is that her name?
Uh-huh. Jackie Pressler.
And
And anyway, I'll just tell you real quick a little bit about Jackie. She was in the entertainment world back when the Imperials and Donnie Marie Osmond, those were some of the people. She was I'm not sure, Jackie, but I think I would call you conflict resolution person. The people in the back of the stage. She was working and getting them situated so that they could go on. And so anyway, so we had that in common, entertainment and stuff like that. So that's how we got to be friends. But anyway, we have linked up, and she's actually coming here, and I'm excited about that. She'll be here February the 9th, and we are co-writing a book together. It's called The Unsung Heroes. It not only has to do with singer-songwriters who, um, a lot of times, well, like Mickey James, one of our friends, Mickey James, back in the day, he's 77 years old now, but back in the day, he did 50 number one hits, but you don't always hear about the songwriter, the unsung hero. So, but we're going to not only do that, but we're also expanding it into the hero's journey as well.
wow,
And so we're going to be out there just talking to different ones, and some people it's okay, and other people may not like that, but it's okay. We'll just interview those that want to be interviewed. And for me, she wants to write this book, especially for me because of the things that I've been through in my life, and I want the book to be written so that I can express, because I've been on those couple of times, and we've talked about the cocoon and how I was in the cocoon and now my wings are dry, and we've
yeah,
been talking that way. And I had to process, the last 15 years of my life, what was all that about, and now I can talk about it. My throat chakra is wide open now.
is it?
And oh
Watch
yeah,
out. Let's
oh
get the
yeah.
karaoke out.
Oh yeah. Hey, I can sing a lot easier than I can talk.
Well,
But
everything is a transmission. Everything is light language. So whether you explain anything to us or tell us about your experience, which we want to hear both, or if you want to break into a song right this moment, that could be very activating for many people.
well, I have something else I want to talk about too. Um, that we're going to be doing. We're going to be traveling,
Mm,
and we're going to be going. I've started. It's called Heart Song Sister Circle.
wow.
And you know, the name of my community was Heart Song Peace Village. And that was a vision that I've carried in my heart, and it became physical for a short time. And so now it's being funneled in through this sister circle. Uh, yeah, it came to me the other day, and I've been meditating on it and you know, reaching out and looking into what that might look like. And because my heart has always been for the brokenhearted. You know, even when I was in school, I was always for the underdog. You know, and that's who I am. I want to reach out to those women who, you know, are beaten and don't understand how to get themselves from a situation like that. You know, the ones that don't understand the terminology that we do. You know, have no clue that they can be set free. And those are the ones that I know is my mission here, is part of my mission here, is to raise vibration. I was told that by uh, many years ago, that I would be raising something, and I didn't know what it was. And Spirit said, "You'll know when it's time." And so that's it. We're all doing that.
Yeah.
You know, it's all frequency. So
Yeah.
so I'm excited.
I'm excited for you. I'm
Yeah.
excited for all of us. So,
Uh-huh.
do you have any idea where you guys are going to be traveling to? You're just going to throw caution to the wind and just jump in the car and go.
Well, we have a you know, a tentative plan. We're going with Mary. Speaking of Mary Martin, we're going with Mary around the 20th or so of March, and we're going to see Rafaela. Um, we're going to be seeing her, and anyone else that you know might be in Texas that would like us to stop by. You know, you
Yeah.
can let us know. Um, so that's where we're starting. Is
There's a
there?
lot of people there. Rafaela's there. Linda Good McGillis is in that same area.
Oh, she is. Okay.
Yeah. They're probably within 30 miles of each other. Um, God, there's a lot of people. Austin, there's a lot of people. Houston, there's a lot of people. So Angela Breakerhoff lives not too far from you. She's about 60 miles west of Fort Worth. I stopped there last year.
Right.
Very nice. Has a bunch of horses, beautiful ranch her family has. Yeah, so that's cool. Are you guys going to document it?
Yes. Yes. We plan on doing that. Yeah. We're gonna do some lives. Um, of course, we'll be journaling, and you know, because we're gonna be writing this book. So,
Yeah.
um, and then you know what?
S-
If the book never gets, you we're just having fun and experiencing, and you know what?
yeah,
Sharing love and light. You know.
yeah.
Yeah.
So when it sounds like you went through some type of change, choosing
Hmm.
yourself to a higher degree, like so many people are doing.
Hmm.
When did that happen, and or how did it happen? What happened? How does it feel? How did it feel?
Well, it's been a process, of course, because transformation is. But um, yeah, I was in a relationship that was when I came out of the woods. I got into a relationship 2 years in, and of course, I had been with so many people who were real with you, you know, and
Hmm.
all of that, and um, I guess I didn't know how to read him or whatever, but um, I think he is a nice person. It's just that he just really didn't understand me. I think that was a lot of it too. And
Yeah.
and anyway, we had a really hard time, um, but I made it through that. I've been out of that
Yeah.
relationship for about a year now, and
Okay.
so processing through that, you know, I was with him for 4 years, so processing through that, and then, um, just trying to, what was I doing?
But
What do
it,
I have
but
to
it,
say?
it seems, yeah, but I think, like I'm speaking of more recently, it seems like, and I haven't talked to you in a while, but I pick
Yeah,
up your energy occasionally on the news feed. It seems like this just happened to you. Like this whole thing with your friend Jackie,
yep,
it sounds like, and I do know some of your personal journey over the last year and a half or so. So, I know some of what's happened. Uh, but it seems like you've turned the corner here. And it seems like it's been very recent. That's what I was referring to. What
it,
happened? How did that
it,
feel? What happened? How'd that go down?
yes, it has been since Jackie, because I've been in a very quiet space, a very meditative space for quite a long time now. And I guess it's the idea that I'm going to be getting out again, and I'm going to be expressing again, and that I have something that I feel I can express. Because for so long, it was as though my throat chakra was I couldn't speak. You remember the
Yeah.
last couple of times I was on.
Yeah.
Uh, and anyone who knows me says, I can't believe Lily can speak, because really and truly, I really can. But I think it just was, I was going through this transformative time. And yes, you're absolutely right. And I'm being able to look at the ways that uh, early on in my spiritual walk, I'm revisiting those things like ego work, revisiting some of that again, and, sort of checking out who I am and how do I feel about this. And with the teachers that I had, revisiting some of that, and finding out that, I'm just getting right back online again. It was difficult for me coming out too, Todd, in that we talked about this a little bit before, but I kind of felt like that I'd been away for so long, and everyone was there was all this different terminology and everything, and I understood what they were saying, but I didn't have that lingo. Uh, I was in the woods. It's like I came out, but it's okay because I know I'm right on time. I'm right where I need to be, and yes, I've had. It feels like a rebirth.
I've never seen you with so much light. I mean, you always carry a tremendous amount of light, but I've never seen you like this. You're like a new person. I mean, you're like, I don't know what happened. You just,
Uh,
I know you were having some difficulties a few months ago. I remember, as we all were, and you had
yes.
some extreme things happen. Uh, yeah, I guess that's what you're saying. You went into solitude, and then you attracted a like vibration with your friend Jackie, and now here you are about to go on the road.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
And really and truly, this is really who I am.
yeah,
You're seeing who I really am.
yeah,
In other words, I was feeling insecure, about speaking out about my truth, and I had to realize that I have always spoken from my heart, and that it's just time for me to continue doing that as I see it, as I have experienced life. That's all. That is what I can tell you, is from my own experience. I don't read books anymore.
yeah.
I went through a time when I was learning and, getting my bachelor's of science degree in metaphysics and chakras and all those different things. But now, or well, ever since I hit the woods, I just listen to my heart. That's what heart song is all about. It's actually called heart song vibrations, and is where the heart song sister circle, it sort of falls under, so to speak. So there'll be other programs coming, other things
Yeah.
coming, just at the beginning stages.
Do you feel like the sisters are stepping up in a way they never have before, and you yourself are?
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And do you feel like you've gotten your power back or are getting it back?
Yes.
in a big way.
Yes.
Yeah, seems like you are. Seems like,
Mhm.
and you were a powerful person before. I'm just saying your frequency is extremely high.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So
And
go ahead.
no, go ahead.
Go. You go ahead.
You go.
You go. I'm not going. You go. Um, I don't know. It's almost like, I ask people questions, and when I sit in this chair, some of them are very similar, like what's happening in the collective, and not to take anything away from that, because this is the beauty of it is just explaining what we're experiencing.
Uh-huh.
So with you, though, it seems like what I'm picking up on is you're just very much uh, seeing the universe through seeing yourself. You're
Mhm.
just being you, like you said. This is the real me, and it's kind of a simple kind of wisdom.
Mhm.
It's nice.
It's a knowing, it's that deep knowing inside of who we really are, and getting in touch with that. And I was revisiting. You've probably seen some of my posts on the ego and such, and that's because I was looking back on what some of my teachers had taught me about the ego, and I was just sort of putting it out there, just to see what sort of input. What is other people feeling about this? I don't hear a lot about it. Um, I know that there was a time when you were having shows about it, um, and I don't hear as much now. But I also don't. I'm not able to catch every show either, because you're doing so many now. Um, but I mean, I personally find that without the shadow work or the ego work, um, I don't know how I would understand the light within me, because the light shines in the darkness. That's where it's seen. So for me to see that part of myself, and I love that part of myself uh, as well, but it was hard going through it.
Yeah,
You
but
know,
you still do it.
I still do it. Hmm.
Like I know you went through some extreme stuff a few months ago, where it's so easy for us to feel the energy of what we might call a perpetrator, or be a victim.
Oh yeah,
And
no, yeah.
it sounds like what you said earlier is you went into kind of solitude for a
Hmm.
while.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, because that's where I find my answers. Uh, I don't really like that term. I, I don't find answers. That's not true for me. I like to say that I find the right question for me.
Mm,
Because as I knock at the door and I question whatever that question is, who am I, or, whatever that might be, I open the door to find another door, and then I ask another question, and I think that's how the answer's found for me.
yeah, that's a good explanation.
Yeah.
Asking, finding the right question. Yeah, I like
Uh-huh.
that.
Because I think that as I was taught, that for me to understand who I am inside, I have to become a student of the inner me, or the higher self of me. And
Mm,
to become a student is to ask questions, to be vulnerable, to be, when you think of a teacher, that's, you're looking at your teacher and you're wanting to understand what they're telling you.
yeah.
You want to understand you, and because you're so hungry to understand, you ask questions. So,
And can you? Yeah, and I felt that way, like in school, especially when you're younger. Like you're almost too afraid to raise your hand because you don't want to be embarrassed. You know what I mean? Like people will think you're stupid or whatever, shyness or whatever it is, right? That's that vulnerability you're talking about,
yeah,
being
well, that's
vulnerable.
actually, that's actually, if I may say, and not to contradict you, but I
No,
would
no,
say
no.
that's the ego. That would be the ego of the person.
Yeah.
I see the ego is very, very important. But to me, it's born in the physical. It is here to help my physical form to live.
Yeah.
It's the instinct part of myself. It's going to do whatever it needs to do to be right and to cause this vessel to live, because the creator divine or whatever lives within all things. And it created this vessel that I live within, this temple, whatever, that I live within. And so I find it so interesting to think of it that way, that the ego was put in the physical form to keep it alive so that this creator divine can look through my eyes, these eyes, along with the observer, which is me. And together we live in this body and experience. But spiritual things are way different. Spiritual things will never come through the ego, because the ego has to do with the physical form. So as I was taught, and again, this is my feeling on it, but the spiritual deals with the spiritual. That which is spiritual, and that which is flesh.
Yeah.
There is a time when the spiritual reaches a place and the ego reaches a place that it will take a back seat.
Yeah.
And then we see things like, and you probably saw me post this, but the monk who set himself on fire.
Yes, I saw that. You're talking about the one in Vietnam, right? Was that?
Yeah.
That's not what I could think of, but
Yeah.
now, I want to go to that, okay? Because that's good. I want to ask you a question. I've never had this question appear in my head before. 800 shows. So, because it's all about integration and polarities. The ego is really part of the physical body. I love that. But what's your perspective? What are your thoughts on are we, and I'm asking, I don't know, right or wrong, nothing. Are we integrating the ego and the higher self?
Oh, I was asking my question. I think I was asking that question earlier to myself. No, I don't feel, I feel that when the body lies down, that the ego lies down too, with the body.
Yeah.
And I, of course, I told you about the symbol that I got. I've talked about it, the V shape, and at the bottom of that point, we're funneling through, and that we can funnel through with our physical forms. But in doing that, though, the ego would have had to completely go.
Yeah.
That's the only way you're going to set fire to your body.
Yeah. So in a sense, the ego is part of the body, but in a sense, it's not.
It's part of the physical, yeah.
Yeah. So the monk in Vietnam that poured gas on himself and burned. You did a post on that. Can you revisit that and tell us what your thoughts were in that post?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I was thinking about the ego, and I went to that place, and I tried to think about that, for myself, and what he might be feeling. I mean, as best I could do that. But so the way that I was seeing that is that if that man had any ego left in his body, his instinct would to be, do not burn myself.
Yeah.
Something would have happened. He'd have gotten up and couldn't do it, or something would have happened there. But you see, he already,
Now, was there ego? This is fascinating to me. So, was there ego in burning himself? Was there a lack of reverence for the only thing we got, life, living, breathing? I don't know.
Well, I think it definitely made a point,
Yeah.
which was a critical point.
Yeah.
Was it ego? I don't think it was ego at all. It may be egoic of us to oh, anyway, I don't know.
He wasn't being a martyr, is what you're saying. He was actually, for all we know, he was aligning with his mission, and he was taking care of business, right? From an egoless state.
And maybe he was being a martyr. I mean, maybe he was being a martyr. I would say yes. I mean, he selflessly gave to make a point, that would make a difference.
Yeah.
In any of their lives. So that's a martyr, right?
I just cleared, well, began to clear. I'm not going to say cleared. I'm clearing without even getting into the story because it's irrelevant. This is my universe. Driving down the road yesterday, you keep glitching, and if you keep doing that, I'm going to freak out. Yeah. So I'm driving down the road with Morgan, and I started. Some things popped up in front of me that needed to be cleared, and from that was what I needed to clear myself, which was self-righteousness. So we have all woken up. We all came out and said, "Hey, 9/11 wasn't real. JFK wasn't real. I mean, the all that stuff. The world's not real." And you kind of take a little rebellious attitude with a healthy amount of self-righteousness, I think. Okay, but then you get to a different level. What does that mean? What does that mean to you? Self-righteousness.
Yeah.
Like in with the backdrop of this monk,
right,
a monk that burned himself.
Yeah. I read all kinds of texts and ancient texts. I've been studying for over 30 years, and one of those is I will also bring in the Bible, and it talks in there about the sinner. They call him a sinner, which I don't agree with all of this religious stuff, but just for this example, we'll go there, okay? But there was a man who went in and was actually praying, and he was saying, uh, forgive me, or look into me. He was being vulnerable, before his God. And the other person said, "Oh God, I hope that I never am like him." And this is where the ego can come in and make us feel that we have an understanding that we do not yet know. I was, yeah.
That's deep.
Yeah.
So the ego, which looks like it's doing one thing, is actually this giving you a knowing that you don't understand everything.
Right. It's your higher self that knows.
Yeah.
Your subconscious and your higher self.
Yeah.
Your subconscious. Sorry. Yeah. The ego. In fact, I've seen it. I've done shadow work, ego work with people for a long, long time, and I will watch it happen. As soon as they start to look within, something will happen. There'll be a disruption of some sort, or the ego is because it feels like, oh no, wait a minute. I don't understand that, what you're doing, but that doesn't feel good to me because that feels like maybe I'm dying.
Yeah.
Because that's what it means to die. That's what it means to die. So that I can live.
Yeah.
If I don't face my death, which I had to do 3 times, I had a MAC 10. Anyway, that's a story there that I could tell you. But that was the first time I had to face my death. I was in a park in Arizona, and I never understood what adrenaline felt like, because I had never been in situations like that. It was pretty scary. But I had to face that day that my children may find out that I've died in a park. I had to face all of that really quick. But I was able to communicate with him telepathically. I'll tell the story. It's a really good story for this. But I went anyway. I'm not going to tell how I got into the circle, but it was a circle of hippies, and someone had said, "Come on over," and I did, and smoked some pot, and I looked away from the circle, and I was hearing these birds I'd never heard before. I was just enjoying myself, feeling free. And when I turned back into the circle, there's Daisy, another person, the person I'm with, and I'm here. Now, across the circle is Daniel, which is going to come in later. But when I turned and looked at Daisy, there was a man with a MAC 10 pointed at her, telling her to give him what she had. So I assumed she had drugs or something on her. She was from the Bronx. She's, tough girl. And she said no, she wasn't going to do that. And he said, "Well, I'll just kill one of your friends." And he looked straight at me, dead in my eyes. Dead in my eyes. In other words, you're dead. And I just went into him. Now, of course, I'm learning that this is shaman stuff, which they used to call me a shaman, which I didn't even know what a shaman was. But I went into him. Through his eyes, I went into him. And I spoke to him and I said, "You don't have to do this. You don't have to be this, because you don't know who you are. You are a beautiful creation of God, and you don't have to do this." Now, when I spoke those words, Daniel stands up, and there's grass everywhere, but you could hear a pin drop. You know what I'm saying? Everyone was frightened, and everyone wanted to leave, but were afraid that he was going to shoot everybody. Well, Daniel stood up and spoke aloud the words I just spoke to him telepathically. And he just got up. He said the exact same thing I did. And then he just got up. And when he got up, everybody else got up. And he reached down. I guess she probably had, some quarters or something in her sock or something, because he reached down and grabbed, like that. And then he went off. Well, she chased him. She's got somebody to pay. You know how that story goes. So, she's chasing him and she's beating him on the back. And he turned around and cocked her with that gun, knocked her smack out.
Mm-hmm.
But point being, though, is I had to face that day my death. I'm not sure what it took to do that. Now that I'm actually bringing that up, I'd kind of forgotten that story until now. So it does make me question too. How was it that I didn't go into some kind of, self-preservation? I just gave in. I gave in to it. I had done that several times in my walk. And the third time I crossed over was when we hit a truck head on in 2000, Christmas Eve 2000, and had a near-death experience there. But anyway, it's the death. It's the death of the old man. It's the death of all of the social the social environment that we grew up in, all of the things, this happened to me when I was a child, I was abused, and I was, but I'm not defined by any of those things, and but it doesn't, those things are there for us to get through them and to grow from them, I feel. And the past is there to grow from, to see that I don't want to do whatever it is I'm looking at, maybe possibly again, or if I made a mistake, a mistake, I don't want to go down that road again, I want to go this way instead. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does. Absolutely does. Wow. You don't even have to do anything. Just sit there and keep glitching. Different colors coming up. There's incredible colors around you. Somebody said you have angels around you.
Mm.
Yeah.
I heard
Thank
the
you.
angels. I've heard the angels.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I was 24. Jonathan was, I don't know, 9 months old or something. And I walked from the kitchen into the living room, and at the doorway, and I heard, I can't, it's hard to describe it. It's happening somewhere else, or I don't know, just beautiful, angelic sounds and things like that. Words. And I sang, and at the time I was in the church. I was in the church for 11 years, the traditional church. And I sang that song. I sang that song from the angels to the congregation. And as I looked out, I saw a dragon. Maybe you could help me with this one. I saw a dragon above their heads. I've never quite understood what that meant, and I usually do, but I just never have really gotten that one. But it was a green dragon. Maybe maybe the people here can say something. But anyway, that just little, there's all kinds of things that like that have happened in my life. But if we could just open, just what we would see all around us, I mean, there's dimensions like here. I mean, it's just, just like that. I was shown those things. Yeah, I've been shown all those things. I've been given symbols of those things, as we all have, in our way. So.
So when you heading out?
I've got some other places that we're going to go, so it might be pretty soon after Jackie gets here. Give her, probably stay here maybe a couple of days. We've got a place we're going to go 4 hours. Fayetteville. Do you know Fayetteville?
Is it 4 hours from you?
It's
Fayetteville,
4 hours
Arkansas?
from me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
you
know
make it
Fayetteville.
there? Yeah.
Yeah, I've been there.
That's a cool place,
Absolutely.
isn't it?
Yeah, it's cool.
Mm-hmm.
It's absolutely cool. Yeah.
Well, I have a brother friend there, so I want to go visit him. I haven't seen him in a long time, and I want to go visit him anyway, and take Jackie, and I'm going to go look at some land. I'm going to go see my daughter. She's my adopted daughter, but anyway, I met her when she was 16, and she's my little hippie daughter, and her mother had died when she was 16, so she just sort of took me on as her mama. I'm mama.
Hmm.
I'm Mama Lily to a lot of people.
Yeah, you are. Well, you got to keep us posted. You
I'm
should do
going to
some
keep.
lives every 2 or 3 days. Do a live and just give us an update, and let's do some collaborations while you're on the road.
That sounds good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you look remarkable. I think you're reflective of the energy, well, the feminine energy for sure, and maybe even the collective energy. It's like a forerunner, you know.
Way
You
of
seem very
showing.
much at
Many
peace.
of
Yeah,
us. Mhm.
yeah, but you seem
Many
very
of
much at
us.
peace.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
And there
even
is,
in you, Todd, I mean, you're in a male form, but
mm,
it's all about the marriage, that takes place
yeah,
within. I mean, there's no sacred feminine without a sacred male.
true.
We,
So,
yeah.
do you want to conclude the show with a song or without a song? It doesn't matter. I'm not attached.
Hmm.
Or a smile in the song.
I'm thinking of I need to get some songs. I like to sing, and I don't remember what I probably sang the same song. I always sing that
That's
same
okay.
songs I like.
Amazing Grace.
I sang it to my sister-in-law passed not too long ago, and I sang this
Mm.
to her in the hospital. She died from the flu that was going around,
Yeah, yeah.
and I sang this to her. Some of you will recognize it, old Carole King song. She was one of my favorites.
Yeah, she's great. Great writer.
It's called Away Over Yonder.
I never
Away
heard it.
over yonder is a place that I know where I can find shelter from a hunger and cold, and the sweet tasting good life is so easily found away over yonder. That's where I'm bound.
Mm.
Well, I know when I get there, the first thing I'll see is sunshine and roses shining right down on me. And the sweet tasting good life is so easily found away over yonder. That's where I'm bound. I'm talking about away over yonder. That's where I'm bound. Wherever that
Damn.
is.
Thank you. See you again soon.
Yes.
Wow. Thank you for the activations and honoring us with your presence, sharing space with us today. Love you.
Thank you too.
All right.
Bye bye now.
See you later, huh? All right.